Who is going to win the Champions League? This week on Football, we are going to be giving our best cases for who we think. Hello everybody, welcome to Goalposts. You are joined by Was Goalposts and myself, Alex Goalposts. We've got a little tinkler for you this week.
Stinky tinkler.
A little tinkler. Who's going to win the Champions League?
There's only one winner there, Mark.
Well, you've got yours, I've got mine. I don't know who you think, but we're going to be putting our best case forward for who. I've been calling this team since right at the start of the Champions League.
Go on then.
I think they're the best team in Europe currently. I think they're at least right up there with Arsenal, but it's not Arsenal.
Thank God.
I think Bayern Munich will win the Champions League this season. Let me give you my case, because this is well thought out. Bayern Munich, they're on the hardest side of the draw.
Mm-hmm.
I think the team from this side of the draw, the side that has PSG, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Bayern, if they get through that side of the draw, whoever they play in the final, they'll feel like they can beat. I actually think, by the way, the winner comes from this side, regardless of who it is. My prediction is that they're going to play Atletico Madrid in the final.
Ooh, what?
Yeah.
All right.
I've ran the numbers, mate. I've looked it all up. If we look at Barca's side of the draw, that is probably the next best, I would say, option to play in the Champions League. However, Atletico Madrid from that side they've beaten Barca in a two-legged fixture this season. So I think they'll fancy themselves to go and do it. I think Atletico Madrid will be the team that Bayern play in the final, and I think Bayern will be able to get past them. If we look at Bayern's run, they've got Atalanta, who I think they'll beat, and I think they'll win comfortably. No, I think they'll win that comfortably. Then they play the winners of City versus Madrid. I think both teams are weak and both teams can be beaten in a big game. Then it's a little bit up in the air. But I think Liverpool and PSG are probably the side that they'd face in the semi-final. I think they can beat Bayern. I think they can beat Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can beat PSG this season. I don't fancy PSG to go and hold the trophy. It can't happen. They're nowhere near as good as they were last season.
No.
They've got the current best player in the world this season.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane's the best player in the world at the moment. And if he's fit and if he's firing, I think he also deserves it. He deserves a Champions League medal.
Yeah, he's left Spurs for that exact reason. He's not gone over there to win Bundesliga titles.
No. Bayern Munich have scored more goals than any other side in any of Europe's top 5 leagues this season. 92 goals.
They've got goals from absolutely everywhere, haven't they?
Absolutely everywhere. They've won 84% of their games this season. They've got the highest percentage of wins of any team left in the competition.
Okay.
So they've scored the most goals. They've got the most wins, the highest percentage of wins. They've got this season's breakout wonder kid in Lennart Carl.
Yeah.
They've got Elise, who's got 26 goal involvements in 23 games. They've got Luis Diaz, who has 25 goal involvements in 24 games.
Fire.
Joshua Kimmich, who's coming into form, even though his age keeps going up, he looks like he's almost gotten better this season.
Scored the winner against Dortmund?
Yeah, scored a belter against Dortmund, left foot volley.
Yep.
Musiala's back fit.
Who is, unironically, the breakout wonder kid from a few years back.
Yeah, and when he's on it, he's unstoppable. They won it 6 years ago, which is the last time they won it, during the COVID season. I feel like they're overdue.
Yeah, you love an overdue shout. Whether it's a player to be carded, a player to score, a team to win.
I do.
Hard
to argue with, right?
We recorded something, I think it might have been after one of the group stage games, where we talked about who's going to be the winner of the Champions League. And on that occasion, you said Bayern, and I said, I can't really argue with that. And they've seemingly got stronger.
Who do you think's going to win the Champions League? Give me your case. If you say Liverpool, I'm walking out and this episode ends here.
Okay, so contrary to everything I've said about them all season, the draws they're getting, my pick is reluctantly Liverpool.
You can't be serious.
Now, you've gone fully stats-based. You've gone, I've run the numbers, I've run this, I've done that, I've looked at Luis Diaz's goal contributions. Right. 6-time winners.
Yeah.
We're 6-time winners. We've still got Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak to come back and start firing. We have got the undoubted atmosphere at Anfield, which carries and has carried teams through, much worse teams through to Champions League final wins. Okay. You said it before this about our FA Cup draw. You've got to beat the best to be the best. So we are likely to face either Chelsea or PSG. Well, we will face either Chelsea or PSG, which are a stonking team. We're going to eventually have to end up playing a Bayern Munich team. The last time, so we've already beaten Bayern in Champions League knockouts in recent years.
When you had Sadio Mane at the peak of his powers, Mo Salah at the peak of his powers, Van Dijk at the peak of his powers.
Doesn't matter, bud. We've come back from 3 goals down away at Barcelona in recent years without Mane or Salah. I watched an interview today and it just set it all in motion. There's players like Alexis McAllister and Dom Szoboszlai and all these new players that haven't won that yet. They've won the Premier League now. They know how that feels. We've beaten Real Madrid in the Champions League this season already. There is nothing more typical than Liverpool having the season that we're having and then going on a run in the Champions League and winning it. It's 2-legged ties, knockout football. Bring me number 7.
There's about 7 teams in that competition that would beat you.
Yeah, on paper. Paper goes out the window in a knockout game in the Champions League. I know you guys wouldn't know about that for a little while, but in the Champions League knockout, look, is it realistic that we win it? Maybe not, if you're looking at current form and how the players are playing and all that sort of thing. There is no doubt that players in the Champions League and teams in the Champions League, when it starts getting to this stage, that something comes from the depths of within. Their loins start firing up with the thought of reaching the next round. This is a round of 16. Galatasaray, we should get past those. I don't think it's a gimme, but we should get past those. Once you get past those, I actually think, here's a statement for you, I actually think Galatasaray is the hardest knockout tie we will play from now until the final.
That is a statement.
Because of it being the tricky underdog, the horrible away. We might not. We could potentially not leave England until the final if we get past Galatasaray.
So let me get this straight. Bayern are the best team in Europe currently this season based off win percentage, goals. They've got the best player in Europe. They've got the best wonder kid in Europe. But Liverpool's loins are what's going to win them the Champions League.
If you wanted to go by who's got the best team, who's got the best manager, who's got the best player, who's got the best wonder kid, who's got the best loins, then obviously if you wanted to go by paper, who should be winning it, who's favourites, blah, 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 then yeah, go with Bayern. Let's have some heart and some feelings with it.
If you weren't a Liverpool fan, you wouldn't be thinking that.
You have been adamant for weeks that United are in a title race and that they're going to win the title. Don't tell me that I can't dream of Liverpool winning the Champions League.
Valid point. Completely fair. And Liverpool more likely to win the Champions League than United are to win the league. Fair enough.
Listen, are we likely to win it? I've said it a minute ago, but realistically, do I think, hand on heart, bullet to my mother's brain, that Liverpool, sorry mum, that Liverpool are going to win the Champions League? No, but never say never.
Okay,
with this team.
Well then, who's going to win the Champions League?
Liverpool. No, I do think I do think there's something weird about it. There's something strange. I've got just got this
definitely
feeling.
something weird about it. I'll give you that.
There's something weird. I've got feeling. I've got loins. I've got heart. I've got passion. I've got desire.
Brand,
we're going to win the Champions League.
We're
going to win the Champions League.
Galatasaray knocking you out of the Champions League is going to hit like crack.
Maybe
that Baris Alper Yilmaz hat trick tomorrow. Oh my god!
Just let's win it. We're going to win the FA Cup now.
No, guys. If you have got a different opinion on who you think is going to win the Champions League this season, let us know in the comments. I think a lot of people are probably siding with Arsenal currently. They're probably
Arsenal, Bayern, Real Madrid.
You think City won't knock out Real Madrid
again? Real Madrid are one of these teams in this competition.
History.
City aren't that team in this competition.
No.
You know, I don't always like going on history, but there's a reason that they've won it so many times and that we've ended up winning it so many times. And
Football heritage.
it is that. It's just something special happens. Something special happens with Real Madrid in the Champions League. Liverpool on these nights, like the Barcelona one, it's unwritten. You can't script it. You can't. Everyone, Barcelona themselves on that night said, "Oh, we're going to score one, aren't we?" Because on paper, of course, they're going to score away at Anfield. Just little things start coming into place in the Champions League. There's always an upset. There's always my god.
I think last season was a bit different. I saw it really clearly last season. I think as soon as it got to the knockout stages, maybe even the end of the group stages, I saw the line for PSG to win it. And I kind of thought, I went quite hard on it. PSG are going to win the Champions League this season. And they did. But I don't think it's very often that happens where you see one team and they go and win it. You're right. There's upsets. There's twists and turns. I mean, the fact that we're sat at this point in the competition and Anthony Gordon is joint top goal scorer of the competition.
Bodo Glimt
knocking out Inter.
You know, Spurs sat potentially in a relegation spot in the Premier League, got through the group stage, through the automatic places. Weird things happen.
They got home ties. They haven't got a home tie.
What do you mean?
Well, no, they play the first leg away, don't they?
Yeah, which is always an advantage. And I like that. That's one thing that I like that they've kept from the Champions League format. Is you should always have the second leg home game advantage.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Go on.
If Liverpool had Arsenal's draw, how do you think that would affect your
Great
views?
question. I think they got a chance. Yeah, because I think once Liverpool got to a final, I even think a semi-final, I think they're really hard to knock out.
This is what I mean about, I think Galatasaray is our hardest.
Who would you play after
Chelsea
Galatasaray?
or PSG? I think Chelsea over two legs, I'd be more confident than PSG just because they're that horrible ratty European team that know how to frustrate.
Knocked you out last. Was it the semi-finals last season or was it the
last,
quarters?
Last 16.
Really?
Yeah, we finished top of the group, and because PSG finished rock bottom of the group stage in 24th,
yeah,
it somehow worked out that through those qualifiers we got put a pit up against them, beat them away, lost 1-0 at home, and then lost on penalties because Donnarumma became prime.
Yeah, but to be fair, I remember Alisson had the best goalkeeping performance I've ever seen in my life.
Away.
Yeah. I think that's hands down the best goalkeeping performance I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. An unbelievable amount of saves. I just think that once you get to that stage, if we get past Galatasaray, you're into the Chelsea PSG. It becomes a quarter final. You're 4 games away from a Champions League final. I think that's where it ramps up for Liverpool. Again, we have players back. Hopefully, this sort of little run. I know there's a few games here and there that aren't coming to fruition, like the Wolves game in the league, but I think that it may start to turn like that. And when we get to the business end of the season, we historically always finish well.
Okay, well, just rank the chances of the other teams. I mean, I won't go into Bodo, but could Bodo?
I think they're a massive surprise. I think they play such freshening football for the mind. Yeah, they play really good football. It's a different style that we're used to seeing in the Premier League week in, week out, and even in Europe. So direct, so playing without fear. So they could be a surprise package. I go back to Atalanta in the Europa League last season. They weren't great the whole competition, but they found a way to not lose and to win.
There's a bit of Porto vibes about them this season.
And interesting you say about Porto. I think Sporting would be, for me, the lowest.
Yeah, Sporting,
the lowest chance of getting anywhere.
Leverkusen play Arsenal. Leverkusen, no chance.
I can't see them causing an upset. My God, wouldn't that be funny though?
I think Arsenal are probably right up there with favourites right now.
They have to be the favourites.
Yeah,
they have to be. The worst they're going to find in the semis would be a Barca,
Atletico Madrid, or Barca,
or potentially a Newcastle, which I can't see. No. But
Newcastle, you're not having them.
I think they'll give Barca a game at home.
I think they will. I I hope they don't.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think they will give them a game. It just goes back to that PSG game, doesn't it? That 4-1 where they came out the blocks absolutely flying.
yeah, that's a good point.
Every one of their fans cheering, throw-ins, corners,
St.
tackles.
James's Park on a Champions League night, I think it's really hard.
And is this... They got knocked out in the groups last time they were in it?
I can't
They didn't
remember.
get to the knockouts, I don't think. Maybe they did. But
They had some good results in the
if-
groups, though. They beat PSG, didn't
they've
they?
got nothing to play for in this league. They are out of the FA Cup and Carabao Cup.
Yeah. It's
You
the
know,
last thing to play for.
It's the absolutely last
Apart
thing.
from league position.
If they can't, which they're never going to get relegated. They might not get into Europe. So to me, that's an all-out attack on Champions League.
Yeah. We have got a chomp coming up at the end of this show, so stay tuned. Someone's going at Arsenal fans again. The Day 1 League, I think it's a good point in the season to reflect on how well some people are doing.
It's
We haven't.
embarrassing for us.
For you, maybe. I'm doing all right now. My Day 1 team
Oh, yeah,
is
you've gone
on
ahead.
the up, mate.
Yeah.
It is on the up. Currently, third place, Ejimaful John, 1625.
My God.
He's still in there. This is a right title race. Rob Devereaux, 1647. And then top is Hamza Al Sharif on 1672.
Once again, there'll be lots of people, if they watch this, that go, what the hell's a Day 1? Or that either seems low or high. Day 1 is where you pick a team at the start of the season. No chips, no changes. Just literally log in, pick your team, log out effectively, and that's it. These three people and many others that are just in the running below them for the 4th and 10th positions, they're miles above what people will be on actively changing
My
their
normal
team.
team with triple captains, loads of chips, is below who's topping this.
So
I
that
think.
is an unbelievable achievement.
Yeah, so it's an incredible achievement. Well done. Over 1,300 people joined this league at the start of the season. And for those three to still be in it and still be up there, they've been in the mix all season. Fantastic achievement. Weekend treble time.
Go on.
We unfortunately both lost this week. And it's not often that we both lose. Profit-wise, you are plus £30 and 48 pence.
Yeah.
And I am plus £62, 32 pence. So we're still in a very healthy profit. It's a selection of 3 at a weekend, 3 different legs. We go low odds. We've got a theme going with this channel, very low odds.
Yeah, and we have been, but that's because it seems to work. The occasional time where I might be desperately behind, or towards the start of the season where I was pulling away, you'd go a little bit more risky and whatever. The idea is to help people win money.
And this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's clean profit. What we've earned this season, based off a £10 stake, if you put £100 on and you backed £100 every week off me and Brand's picks, you'd be plus £900.
Yeah.
Which is outrageous.
So effectively, if you're doing it on unit stakes, so the unit can be whatever you want, you'd be times 9 of whatever your unit stake
That's
would
an
be.
incredible return. I think it's a good time to reflect on how well we've done, actually.
Because we're not trying to, build Rome in a day every weekend, which a lot of people do. The bookies absolutely love it if you place a bet that's got no chance of winning. That makes
24-fold accumulators.
makes
They
you want
love
to go
it.
back in. Why not maximize your ability to earn money by just taking it down a notch? They're obvious for a reason, and we try and find them.
We found them, and we found them very successfully. To be times 9 of your original stake, we're talking like you put your money in an index fund, you're not getting that return at the end of the season.
And it gives you a bankroll to be able to do other things, do your other £24, 24 team accumulators and stuff. So follow us for that.
Yeah, that is a good point. Why wouldn't you subscribe? Or if you're not interested in the rest of what we got to talk about, wait till the weekend treble, back it, and all of a sudden you're in profit.
You
We
got
pay
reason-
you to listen. It's the podcast that pays you to listen. That said, my weekend treble for this weekend: Chelsea versus Newcastle over 2.5 goals.
Oof. Okay.
Real Madrid to win against Elche.
Mm-hmm.
Milan or draw against Lazio away.
Okay, double chance.
£10 on returns £21.67.
Okay.
That is over the course of the weekend. That last game, by the way, is Sunday. Normally I go all on Saturday.
Yeah, which I didn't find out until 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, I was doing sometimes Friday to Sunday. Sometimes I was doing Saturday morning at 4 a.m, Sunday 9 p.m.
No, I thought I'd go a little bit different, only because I was looking at the Saturday fixtures. I couldn't call anything.
It's hard this week.
I had to go to Sunday.
I have got over 1.5 goals in the Inter at Atlanta game. I've got over 1.5 goals in the Dortmund Augsburg game. And then my heavy pick for this week is Getafe to score away against Atletico Madrid. £10 on those three selections is £26.67 back.
Getafe don't score a goal. They don't score a goal.
Getafe are on the up, and it's Satriano. That boy, he scored the winner against Real Madrid. I think he came over from Lyon. He got shipped over when Endrick signed. They basically just cut him out the squad straight away and shipped him off. He's reinventing Getafe at the moment.
Okay. All I know about Getafe is that Jenny gets a card every week. Okay, well, that looks very healthy. Last week's selections weren't very healthy. We both lost, which means normally one of us would do a chomp because the other one's won. Because neither of us won, we've both got to do the chomp. But we are going to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel!
Because this week it's a stinker of a line to start the chomp, which I think neither of us are going to want to say.
I don't mind it. I might even volunteer. Nah, spin the wheel. I like the wheel.
So the opening line is, I pride myself on my football knowledge, and you've got to be really cocky about this. I pride myself on my football knowledge, and I'm telling you, if Arsenal win the Champions League this season, they'll be the worst team to ever win the competition. I don't think a Spanish manager has ever even won the Champions League, so Mikel Arteta actually would be the first. And then it's going to be a lengthy rant on their draw. They're drawing every competition so far. I didn't see who Arsenal got in the...
Oh, only Southampton.
FA Cup Southampton. I think this chomp might be the most valid chomp we've ever done.
It's so real.
With the exception of, obviously, a Spanish manager never winning the Champions League. The chomp wheel's out. Oh, by the way, there is a selection on here that still says, and it hasn't landed on it, BK, and that's Brandon Keith, and that means Brandon has to do it
in my alter ego's voice.
In his alter ego's voice, which nobody's heard yet. Okay. Are we ready?
Why would you say that now?
Spin that wheel. Come on, Brandon Keith. Come on, Brandon Keith. It's me. It was so close.
It's me, it's me, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. It's me.
Okay. I pride myself on my football knowledge. I think I'm telling you now that if Arsenal win it, they're the worst team to ever win the Champions League in the history of the competition. Mikel Arteta would be the first Spanish manager to ever win the Champions League as well, actually. It's never been done by a Spanish manager. Look at their draw. Look at who they've got in the competitions. If they don't win all 4 competitions this season, it'll be a disgrace.
Disaster of a season.
Yeah. Okay, and the United top is going to make this even worse for me. I'm about to get pelters. You know, I pride. I didn't know how cocky to be there. I pride myself on my football knowledge. I've watched football for years. I know a thing or two. If Arsenal go and win the Champions League this season, it will be the biggest disgrace. They will be the worst team in Champions League history to win the competition.
Say it louder for those in the back.
And actually, by the way, a Spanish manager has never won the Champions League, so Mikel Arteta would actually be the first one to do it. I can't see it being anything other than they should go and win it, because if they don't, it's embarrassing.
That they have had a rollover in the Premier League. They've had the easiest draw and route through to the Carabao Cup final, and now they've got a sort of faltering City in the final. That should be a competition. They've just been drawn against Southampton in the FA Cup. That's the easiest draw that they're going to get to Wembley. Champions League, there's nothing even more to say. The entire country knows that is the easiest possible route to the final.
It's the easiest route I've ever seen to a final.
In the history of the competition.
Yeah.
How funny is it that they get that after finishing top, and Liverpool last season ended up with PSG in the last 16. The whole country is just, or the whole system of football has just fallen into their hands this year.
Do you think there's a little bit of something's going on here?
Has to be.
We've seen the chief exec of the Premier League say that they need a new winner.
Yeah.
Is the same thing going on in the Champions League?
It's a story, isn't it?
How else can you expect to get that easy of a draw?
If they don't win all 4 of those competitions, it's a bad season for Arsenal this season.
I couldn't agree more.
That was a fantastic chomp, and you're going to see that hit, I reckon, 250k on TikTok.
How many comments about what a dickhead I am?
I'll be fat, I'll be bald, I won't know anything about football. There'll be at least 10 people that say the idiot in the hat.
I'm going over 19 and a half. Podcast equipment should be more expensive.
Yep. Or illegal.
Yeah. Make podcast equipment more expensive. I'm gonna go on the over 9.5.
They've never played football.
They've never played football in their life. They've never kicked a ball in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think of any other cliche ones that we get.
It's always cliche comments. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to see the result of that chomp, it's going to be live at Alex Goalpost on TikTok. If you want to follow Brandon, he's at WasGoalpost on TikTok and Instagram. If you want to follow along here for not just our journey throughout the season, but the journey to the World Cup, £10 to a World Cup ticket. It's going really well.
It's on.
It is on, and it's on this channel. If you want to listen on the go, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, just search for Goalposts. We'll see you next week, next Monday, and next Wednesday, and every Monday and Wednesday until the end of the season.
You screwed me up there. Just one more thing to say, actually. Love you.